Hello everyone, how's it going? I'm WoWcrendor, and welcome back to the 11th episode of Fishing with Crendor. Well, that's not welcome back to it, it's a new one.
Well, it's still welcome back, like...
Well, it's welcome back to the show, but like, I was like, welcome back to the 11th episode, but it's like, you know, you just got here.
You should have said welcome back to the 10th episode. And then it would've worked.
It would have just been a continuation.
Who was on your 10th episode?
He was Mooklucking, a machinima guy.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, I'm Mookluck guy. I'm a machinima guy.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Welcome back to the 10th episode.
So, if you don't know, I am joined today by Rob. I don't even know your like name. You have Rurikar, OldManWillakers.
Yeah, you know what it is.
Else.
I don't use names very much.
You don't use names.
Well, I'm not very good at the branding thing because you know what I realized? I always just make characters. Like WoW people would know me as like Majachi from Jimmy the World of Warcraft story. That was the thing though. People would call me Jimmy as well.
Oh yeah.
So that was always confusing because I wasn't Jimmy in that. But I make like lots of shows, so I always end up having different usernames. So it's just much easier to call me Rob.
Okay.
But people from World of Warcraft would know me as Majachi the Mage, Jimmy the World of Warcraft, Pepitos, You Buy Cat. That's that stuff.
Yeah.
Unforgotten Realms type stuff.
Maybe even our Thanksgiving special.
Or Thanksgiving specials where we accomplish nothing.
Yeah. In an amazing fashion.
Mm-hmm.
So right now, normally I'll ask the person, where do you want to go fishing at?
Well,
and you can explain it.
Yeah, we're gonna go fishing in Thelsamar. Thelsamar is a very memorable spot for me and Crendor. So we actually, me and Crendor met up in World of Warcraft. We were both leveling gnomes at the time. I was a gnome warrior, and I don't really remember what you were. You were something gnome.
Warlock.
A warlock. Yeah, and we, we met just off the hill of Dunmorrow by a small little city in Loch Modan called Thelsamar. Yeah. I think it was raining outside in real life, but then again, we don't live in the same place, so it probably wasn't raining. Was it raining where you lived at that day?
I imagine it was coherently raining.
Yeah.
In both places.
It was probably raining all over North America. It was a stormy day. And you know, I saw you were a warlock, and you were casting a shadow bolt on a bear, and then I charged the bear to get the tap, and then ran off, leaving you with a bear that would give you no experience or quest credit that you basically had to kill.
Of course.
Yeah, but you were gonna put up with that, so I believe you ran away from the bear. You know, then it reset, and I noticed the reset, so I came back to attack it, but I was attacking it while it was reset. And then you put on a dot, and I think this was before dots immediately tagged mobs. I think they fixed that. Yeah. So your dot actually has to do damage to tag it. So you put a dot on it, but I hit it. So then I had aggro, so, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I didn't talk to you for like a year and a half.
Yeah, that was our first encounter. We didn't really talk much because, you know, Crendor was kind of a dick. You know, all I wanted to do was tap a mob and let him kill it, but he just refused to kill it for me.
Yeah.
So,
you know.
I don't actually know how did we meet. Did we meet because we played? This is all bullshit.
We made that.
Yeah,
we made that all up.
This is just bullshit. I don't really remember where
we met because I was a fan of your Unforgotten Realms show. And this is this is before I even like did YouTube or anything. I may have like made like 3 videos and had like 1,000 subscribers or something. It was really low. And then I was like, Unforgotten Realms Guild, I want to play with them because I was like, you know, like a stupid, however old I was. I think I was like 18 or something. And then I joined your guild, and it was you. Who else was it? There was Fenris.
Fenris.
James.
James.
And Kitten.
Kitten. Who else played in that guild? God.
I think it was you 4, and then someone you were playing with. I think it was James' friend that you were playing with. He stopped playing.
Was James like the quiet talker? He was like, talk like really quiet.
Yeah, he kind of had like his nose
talked like a
stuffed
dwarf.
up a bit. Like
you actually felt he was a dwarf.
Yeah. And yeah, you're like, we need a druid, or you needed something, and I was like, I can fill that role. And then I started playing. I think I was a rogue, and then they were like, or you were like, I think we'd rather have you as a druid or something, and so I switched over to be a druid.
Here we go. This is the fishing spot.
Yeah, here it is.
Here we go. This is it. This is the old fishing spot. By the way, does this work? I think this still works.
Yeah.
Is it just nonstop whistling at you?
Yeah, it is. That is what happened. It is, you know.
You gotta get the Argent pet so you can whistle at people. You know.
The Argent Squire, yes. Oh yeah, it was in Wrath of the Lich King too. Come to think of it. And I remember, can we even fish here? You're casting land. It's too shallow.
Come on, I've fished here plenty of times. Okay. Like, let me show you how it's done. Let me get just.
Water too shallow, it keeps saying.
I'm pretty sure it's fine.
I think Blizzard nerfed it.
Yeah, I'm like, oh look at this! I caught a frog. Ah, shit! I right-clicked and I'm in a pet battle.
All right, this is like the most non-relaxing, unfishing, unconstructed beginning of the show.
What about the dam? Can we fish off the dam?
All right.
Like, I don't know, man. Blame Deathwing. What do you want from me? He ruined my dam.
Oh yeah, this is the dam where all the dwarves were up there, and now it's just like it's all broken and shit.
Didn't it have their faces? It was like the Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
What about this one? This one's got a pool in it. You should be able to fish.
All right.
Okay. See,
I like this music too. It's like old school music.
I'm a full Alliance nerd here. Look at this. See this? You like this?
Oh yeah, you got the whole like knight set.
Yeah, man. And I got the lance.
Oh yeah, the lance too.
Where's the toy box?
That little squire kid really wants to grow up to be you.
It was funny. Right before I was supposed to be on the Griffin, like we were supposed to take the Griffin here, but my account was hacked a couple weeks ago, and I hadn't bothered to fix my character. So I log on, and I gotta fix all this stuff. And then where's like 3, 2, 1, let's get on the Griffin and go, and I don't have any gold. I have 0 copper on this character. Just stuck in my mail somewhere else.
Cremate, Dark Spear toy. I'm looking through the toys right now.
Dude, what category is toys in? I don't remember where these are.
It's under collections.
Where your mounts?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gammon's Braid.
Whoa. Oh, what's that one from? That must be from like Panda stuff. I don't.
That's from this expansion.
Oh,
Garrison things.
Oh, it's a Garrison thing?
Yeah. That's actually my Twitch subscriber alert, is him being like, Gammon will save us.
I played like a little bit of this expansion, probably like the first month, and then I just kind of got bored.
It's kind of what I did as well.
It's like I really like World of Warcraft, but I used to play it and raid all the time in it. So these days I kind of play it and it's just like just a little patch up. I'm like, oh yeah, that's good. Okay, I don't need this for a year.
Yeah.
That's all
but I feel like I always think that like, man, well, I'm just quitting more than I used to. But then I think back and like in Vanilla WoW, I quit like 30 times. Like I would always quit and be like, I'm gonna go play another game. Yeah. And I'd come back and be like, wow. So I mean, I've always done that.
It was a long time, wasn't it? Maybe not.
Yeah.
Maybe it just felt long.
It was. I think it was longer than. It was like 2 or 3 years.
Oh.
As it had more stuff to do overall, just because it was the original game, and they were like, we gotta put a bunch of effort into this one. But
I'm gonna find this collection tab. I'm telling you. It's somewhere, dude. Dude, all my add-ons are broken again. I have this all set up. Come back to WoW. It can't be more than like 3 or 4 months since I've last played this. Everything's broken. I don't know where anything is.
Is it because you got hacked?
No, I don't think that has anything to do with it.
Add-ons. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was the most recent patch, 6.2.
Yeah, maybe they just did something. Like I haven't updated them or anything, so it's my fault. I'm just terrible. All right, you're gonna help me out. Where's this collection tab, man? I've clicked every button.
Hit Shift P.
Oh, see? Oh my goodness. That's just. Shift P. These are my skills. Is it somewhere lost in here?
No, it's not
Revive
Shift
battle
P.
pets.
Shift P.
Gift
Yeah,
of
and then
remove.
mounts, pet journal, toy box, heirlooms.
Really? In my spell book? That opens up my spell book. All right. I'm going to find it, Crendor. Just see.
No, Shift P, not P.
I shifted the P. It's probably because it's unbound.
Oh.
No.
Yeah. Well, it's pets or mounts,
right.
pet journal, toy box, heirlooms, however you get there. That's what it is.
Dude, I don't even know how to get to my mounts. I got a picture of a horse and it opens up my adventure guide.
Yeah, the horse.
The horse
That opens your adventure
It
guide.
opens my adventure guide.
What's wrong with your game?
Okay, but come on. Everybody's had to feel like this when you come back to WoW after so long and you're just like, your vault's full, your characters are full, and you're just like, I don't know what to do. I left everything in a mess. Like, I still have things in my vault that I don't know why I have them in there.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's in there. Like, I just have things in my inventory that I'm like, why do I have this? Why is this a thing? Why do I have a roasted quail? It's delicious, but
Maybe that's why you have it.
it's not helpful.
You
Like
never
here, like do you need this? Oh, I can't even trade this sealed vial of poison thing. It's not even tradable anymore.
Let's cross
God damn
server
it.
anyway. You can't trade cross server.
Oh, okay, that's right. I forget about that.
Oh yeah, there's the dungeons and raid thing in the adventure guide. I remember in one of our
Yeah, you have,
special
like,
things.
You have 7 Let's Plays to do, or videos to make that you haven't made yet.
Yeah.
What's this? Timmy, Jimmy, Remy, Pimmy,
Yeah, Timmy.
Timmy. Yeah.
Yeah.
When's that? Where's that mission about?
It'll be soon. Just wait. I played through Warcraft 3 on my channel,
Was
and
Timmy
everybody
in it?
freaked out because the little side quest with Timmy I skipped over. And then everyone was like, "You missed the Timmy quest." And I was like, "Oh yeah, I'll go back and do it later." Never went back.
Oh god, that's so funny.
Yeah.
This game is just pure nostalgia now.
It really
that's
is.
for me.
Yeah. It's like
And-
that with me too.
I come back and I just feel like a grumpy old man. I'm just like, I don't remember how to do anything in this game. Like, all the muscle memory is gone.
Back in my day, we did it differently.
Collections not bound. Binding it to P. Got this. Alright, let's see. So, you want some sick music? Here's some sick music. Get you this one. I'm gonna throw down a keg. The party's starting.
Like, that's literally been 10 minutes and we've done nothing.
I'm,
Like, no
I'm
structure.
getting our fishing setup, okay?
Alright.
You know what, this for Nomergon. You know, let's get you some sexy ladies going on here.
Mm-hmm.
Set up the side over here. Like that sick music?
I do.
It's just singing you some songs.
It's beautiful.
I don't even know what this does. Put that down. Oh, here's a foam sword rack.
Boar's joining the party.
So you want to have a foam sword fight?
I don't think I have a phone sword. Wait.
Oh, I got a
might.
rack, buddy.
Oh.
Grab
Alright,
yourself
well.
a foam sword. It's foam sword time.
I don't even.
Yeah,
Even-
clearly you've never battled with foam swords.
Hold on, we'll put that at 2. Alright. Oh.
Whoa. Yeah, now you've lost your foam sword. You gotta go get a new
What?
foam sword. Have you never had a foam sword battle?
I think a long time ago I did. What?
I
could
mean,
I
I
not-
own the foam sword rack. Clearly, I know. Oh,
Aha!
I'm getting cocky. Ah. Come on. Oh God.
Whoa. Damn!
Gotcha.
I gotta win one of the times.
Dude, when they made the most excited thing I was for this expansion was the toy box. When I saw the
Yeah.
toy box, I was like, oh, thank God. Because I've had this stuff in my inventory for so long.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, where's my DI button? Where? Haha!
What?
I don't know if this works.
Alright, I give up. Alright. Okay, are we good? We're good?
Yeah.
Good.
I'm gonna
We're all good.
Though, you know.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Now we're good.
Fish definitely like carrots. So
Yeah. I mean, you don't know. Like, it's all personal preference.
I could play.
Might be a fish that likes carrots.
I could play a game that is just purely, just toy box stuff. That's all I do.
Yep. So why don't we talk about how you got into just gaming in general?
Wow. Gaming in general, huh? I mean,
Yeah.
I kind of always played video games since I was a kid. How I got into it, I mean, I've been playing video games since before I was born.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like, did your mom bought you a Nintendo like before you were born, and like your spirit played it?
Almost, yeah. My mom and dad actually used to be really big into video games, and then apparently I was born, and then they decided to stop playing video games completely, which was kind of weird. They just kind of fell out of love with video games.
Oh.
My mom was really big into it. She used to play like the old Ultimas and stuff, the old like Commodore 64 floppy disk games. I remember like trying to play those and having no idea what I'm doing because I can't even read. I'm just pushing buttons. But no, like I got big into computer games because I just loved computers growing up. So like WoW wasn't my first MMORPG. Like I had played many others. One I played a lot was Dark Age of Camelot, and so I came to WoW like as like an elitist teenage jerk. I was just like, I already know how to play these games. Everybody's gonna be noobs, and so like and then I had no interest in PvE too, which was weird. Like I had zero interest. All I wanted to do was PvP, and then when I got to the max level in WoW, I didn't really enjoy the PvP. Like, because all they had originally was just like open world gank people.
Yeah, they didn't have battlegrounds yet.
And they didn't even have like honor points or anything originally. It was just kill people for no reason. You'd fight at like, God, what was that? The Terran Mill.
Yeah.
It was just kind of like pointless battles over nothing that didn't matter. Mm-hmm. And so like I eventually started getting into the raiding part because it was actually fun. It was like teamwork and stuff.
Yeah.
And then I just got bigger and bigger into it until I was just raiding full time, pretty much all the time. I feel like we've told people this in our Thanksgiving specials,
I don't know though.
But I don't really have a fancy story for how I got into this because I almost feel like I've just been doing it since it existed. Ever since the internet, I've been looking to play games on the internet.
Long ago.
Yeah, long ago, before the internet.
Did you play Warcraft 3 before WoW?
I played Warcraft 3, Warcraft 2, and Warcraft 1. And the reason why I got into Warcraft 1 and 2 was because they were on Macs. And I used to only, like, the computer my family had was a Mac. So that was always annoying because, you didn't really have a lot of options on Mac. But Blizzard would put their games on Macs. So I remember the first time I played Warcraft was like, it came on like a demo disc. Like out of an Apple magazine. They'd come in like Warcraft demo, but you could actually, I think it was Warcraft 2 that had it, but that was the big one I played. Warcraft 1 I kind of played a little bit and I was like, this game sucks. It was okay. Yeah. I didn't like it that much. I wasn't interested. But Warcraft 2 you could play with your friends, and that was huge at the time. Like I remember like the whole like I'd call my friend and I'd be like, all right, I'm gonna try connecting to you now, and then we hang up, and then we can't actually communicate to each other until we connect to the game. And then at any time, if either my family or his family like picks up, we'd get disconnected.
Yeah, this is the phone line 56K swagnet.
The internet's kind of crazy like that. Like these days, when you're like 3 years old, your parents are giving you an iPad and you're a master at it. And I'm just like, man, I didn't even know, we didn't even have the internet till, I don't know, like the internet wasn't really a big thing till maybe I was 12, 13, 14, like around then. With the AOL days and the chat days. It's really interesting. Yeah. It's really interesting because the internet is basically into like adolescence.
Yeah. Like we were kind of the first generation to really grow up with the internet.
And while that's cool, it definitely sucks for us because we will probably you know, like I would have much loved to be born today almost, and like have the internet be where it is now to experience. And because while it's kind of cool in some ways, like in other ways, I don't know, like right now you get bored in, you're just into the age of information. So like I honestly, like, they should really just have a class in grade 1 called "Kids, when you have a question, put it into the Google." That's it. And then this class is over. All right, that's all you need to know, kids. Because like I still have the problem where I'm like, how should I open this? And then it'll click in my mind. I'll be like, oh, I can ask the internet. And then you go on the internet and there's a video of just like a guy showing you how to open up a jar of mayonnaise. It's just
everybody, my name's Frank, been opening jars since 1964, and I'm gonna teach you how to open the jar.
The trick to jars is just you take it and you turn on warm tap water and you put it into the warm tap water and you turn it. Then you dry it off with a towel or paper towel. You really shouldn't use paper towel, kids. It's bad for the environment. And then the jar comes off. You're just like, oh my god. And then it's like it doesn't work, and he's got a second follow-up video. Sometimes I like to take a knife, preferably a butter knife, and put it under the seal to pop the top off. you can do like isn't that crazy to say? When we were kids, if you had a question, like especially with like things like just sex, you have no idea. There's nothing to read up. But you can actually go to the internet and like look it up, and there's like an entire discussion of people just saying like, "What's a boner?" Like there's just an entire talk about it, entire thread, pictures, diagrams,
literally anything,
and literally anything at this point.
It's true though. The butter knife does work. What you gotta do with the butter knife is you take the end of it and you tap it like against all the sides of the jar lid, and then it just kind of like pops up, and it's easy to like screw off. Mm-hmm. That's a trick I learned.
Oh, I caught some spiders.
Oh, nice.
Thanks. I am also terrible at multitasking, so if I was to actually try and fish with you, I wouldn't be able to hold a conversation.
I kind of want to see that happen now.
I'm not kidding.
All right, just start fishing.
Okay. Let me get the fishing on the bar.
All right. So, how long have you been not that?
Trying to focus. Want me to lose this?
So you've been bad at multitasking your whole life.
That's not a skill I have ever learned.
So does that make you bad at like RTS games?
Yes. Oh, dude, I would love to be good at games like StarCraft because I love them, but I'm not very good at them. Those are games I'm not very good at. I'm great at games that are involved around map awareness. Like I really like Heroes of the Storms right now.
Yeah.
Like there's certain heroes in Heroes of the Storm that are not like mechanical heavy. I mean, there's some that are like I really like Illidan for things like that.
Yeah, Illidan's really fun.
But
I like siege minions or siege heroes the most. You can just like push a lane by yourself, like Asmodan.
Oh, dude, I loved Asmodan, and then they kind of like nerfed some little things with him, and I don't like him anymore. Asmodan used to be so baller because you could just go kill the boss like by yourself the second 10. You just be like, whatever, dumping all my minions on it, it's dead. And then they made it so like it doesn't really work because there's the ult or the big AoE just clears all your minions out, and you're just like, oh, okay, I guess.
I didn't even know that. I haven't played in a while. That's dumb.
I love
a fun game though.
I've always been a fan of Blizzard games. You know, when I was a kid, when I was younger, I was so critical of them. I was always like, Blizzard's doing this wrong, Blizzard's doing it right. But now that I've like gone into like being an adult, I just look back and I'm just like, God, these guys have always been so good. Like there's just nobody compared to for me. Like I can't compare them to like any other video game company because there's nobody who's been around this long and puts out this consistent quality in all their games that even if they have like the little tiny problems here or there, you know, just the little quirks and stuff. I lost 2 fish because of you, by the way. Just like...
Well, it's like with Blizzard games, they always have that kind of smooth, like finished feel to them.
That polish, yeah. No, they're good.
That's why even with like playing Diablo, for example, like even Diablo 3, even though it wasn't like the greatest game, but at least they removed the auction house thing. But like everybody's like, oh, I'd go play Torchlight or go play Path of Exile. But I try and I'm like, I don't like the feel of the game or like the controls of the game. And like with Diablo, it just has that Blizzard feel to it where I'm just like, it's so smooth and like rolling along. And I'm like, yeah.
They're also committed to their games. Like Diablo 3, the funny thing is, Diablo 3 made by any other game would have been a great game, like any other company, sorry, would have been a great game. People would have been like, wow, look at this new game. This is amazing. I don't know why they called it Diablo 3 because Blizzard owns Diablo, but this is a fantastic game. But because I remember like the whole like Torchlight 2 was really big on like the internet PR at the time, being like, don't play Diablo because it sucks, play this. But Diablo 3 still gets updates. You know what I mean? Major updates. Like they have the new like Heraldric, I don't know if I pronounced that right, cube thing that lets you like pull things off of legendary prefixes. You can pull them off and turn them into passives. Completely changed the game. All new builds. Sounds so exciting. And it's crazy because that game's got to be 3-4 years old. When did it come out?
Yeah, it's been about 3 years. Pretty sure it's been 3 years.
They're real, and you know, if you played Diablo 3 and you didn't like it at release and you haven't touched it since, if you like those action RPG games, I'd give it another chance because it's a completely different game today.
Like
I
the
love
fact that they took the auction house away after being like, yeah, we effed up. Like that shows how much they actually do care about the game.
You know, I've said this before though, but the auction house was always so interesting to me because Blizzard will always try these things that even if you look at it and you're like, oh, that's so dumb, hindsight is always 20/20. Because for Blizzard, they had a real problem in Diablo 2 with the black market. And the auction house was supposed to kill the black market. Yeah. That was the idea. You know, it was supposed to create a new monetization platform. Because Blizzard isn't foolish. Blizzard sees the whole world of free-to-play games. Look at all the current games they've put out, you know? Look at the things they've done for World of Warcraft. Like, technically, World of Warcraft, you can play for free. You can definitely play nonstop every day, get the amount of gold you need to buy one of those monthly sub things that people sell in the auction house. You know, they've kind of adapted with the trend in Hearthstone free to play. Here's the Storm free to play. We know that Overwatch is going to be free to play. Like it's going to be microtransactions buying your heroes, right?
Yeah, like, I love Overwatch too.
Oh, I know. I think I'm going to love it too. It's Team Fortress 2 meets League of Legends, right? Like that's...
Yeah, I played it at BlizzCon and PAX East. And it has the Blizzard feel to it, which is to me, it felt like a better TF2, and that's what I really liked about it.
Which is hard because like TF2 is a great game. I don't even say was. Like I haven't played it recently, but like I've always loved TF2. You know, it's always been a good game. So for anyone to ever say like it's a better TF2, that's saying something about the game so far.
Yeah, because I played like at E3, I played Star Wars Battlefront, and I was like, it's all right. Like I didn't have that urge of like I want to go back and play it like right now. But like with Overwatch, I was like I need to play it again. Yeah. And like I had that like that whatever it is that makes you want to go back and play it. Like I want to play it again and again and again. It's like you don't get tired of it. And that's why it's gonna be good. I mean, I remember when they announced Hearthstone. And everyone's like, oh, Blizzard's announcing a card game.
A card game?
That was stupid.
Dude, I knew right from the get-go. Blizzard card game, I was like, nope, I'm ready. It's going to be Magic the Gathering, but made by Blizzard. And it was. It is. Yep. It's what it is.
And it's like they focus so much on the visual aspects of it all, too. So it's really fun to watch it be played because of that, too.
They get a ton of love from the community, and you know they're successful because they also get an enormous amount of flack for even the smallest of decisions. Like I remember the Hearthstone community going like flipping out about the $10 portraits. It's like these aren't deck slots. It's like how the fuck does the art team making portrait stuff have to do with programming deck slots? That's like.
Yeah,
it was so funny too. They made themselves like look like idiots. They're like, "Where's our new game modes? Where's all this stuff? Why are you making dex blocks? You're just milking us for money." And then they announced their Tavern Brawl mode, which was just like a godsend for the game. Just like, by the way, fresh new game mode every week, and you just watch the collective community go, "Oh, we overreacted."
Then there's still the people being like, this game mode after a few weeks is stupid. I thought it'd be better. Or like, I wanted tournament mode, not this game mode.
Well, you know, they've been hyping it up. That like we know that the next expansion for Hearthstone, or whatever the next big announcement is definitely something that has to do with the Argent Crusade in WoW. Yeah. So, I mean, the Argent Crusade is the Argent Tournament. So I'm wondering if that is going to be some different types of tournament modes and not just cards. because it wouldn't make sense to me to use the Origin Crusade unless you were going to introduce something tournament-y to the game.
That's a good point.
You know, I wonder if that's what it's going to be. Because the Origin Crusade doesn't really have a lot in the sense of things you could add as cards. Like,
Yeah.
it was literally 5 bosses, you know? And can you name one memorable character outside of those 5 bosses? I mean...
Yeah, I mean, you think of, like, what was it, the Yeti, the Jormungar worms, or whatever they were.
Yeah, I mean...
Jaraxxus.
I mean, I'm sure they could make, like, a Goblins and Gnome style expansion and add 100 cards, but I think we might see a tournament mode.
Yeah.
And if it is a tournament mode, hats off to Blizzard, because they're just getting better and better at the things that they were actually lacked on. Listening to the community, I think everyone kind of agrees that they've always kind of incubated themselves. The Blizzard of old would incubate themselves in what the community's saying, and I can understand that, because sometimes as gamers we have no fucking idea what we want. You know, we will say this is what we want, but then they'll go and make something, and you're like, oh, that's what I wanted, and I never knew.
Yeah.
Right. And so you can't always listen because you kind of have to just do what you do. But Blizzard was always very much not always listening, like just completely just negating everything, just completely ignoring parts of the communities. But it's very clear if you follow them on Reddit or Twitter and stuff that they have a lot more people whose job it is to just be like, this is what the community's saying, guys. This is what they really want. This is what the vocal part of the community is really active about. Hey, I just got an achievement.
Whoa.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I know there's lots of people that'll be like, Blizzard needs to add this to the game, and they add it, and they're like, it's okay.
Yeah, I know.
So, I feel like we should talk more about, like, when we played the game. I think when we played, back when, like, we raided together even, as Wrath of the Lich King, I think that was probably, like, the most fun I had raiding out of, like, any time I've been raiding.
That means a lot to me, Crendor. You want a hug? Hold on. Let me get in there. Let me give you a hug. There you go. I didn't see my character do it, but it said I did in chat, so I'm gonna assume I did.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I enjoyed that probably out of all the expansions. Vanilla was really fun. I enjoyed vanilla raiding, but I thought just the Wrath of the Lich King. I just love Wrath of the Lich King in general. That's probably my favorite expansion. I loved all the raids in it. I loved even the 5-mans. I enjoyed all the 5-mans. I had fun with all the people raiding it. I don't know. What was your favorite?
I mean, I pretty much liked all the expansions. I know that's a cop-out answer.
Yeah.
But for me, like, the only expansion I didn't like was Panda, but that's because I didn't play Panda. Every time I've come to World of Warcraft, I've always had a good time. And, I mean, it's really hard for me to pick and choose which expansion I have, because every time I have a conversation with anyone of what's your favorite expansion, it's almost universally the expansion they played the most was their favorite.
Yeah.
And, like, I played a ton of Vanilla, a ton of TBC, a ton of Wrath, and I had great experiences in each. Like, in Classic, this was a game where it kind of changed me as a person. Like,
Yeah.
I learned a lot of things that I apply to my everyday life today with, like, you know, leadership, communicating with people. Like, it's kind of weird that, you know, you can learn a lot of social skills from a video game. Whereas previous MMORPGs, I was always kind of, like, very inclusive, very elitist. World of Warcraft kind of made me so, you know, you go into a raid with 40 people, even if you are elitist, I mean, you're all on the same team. You know, I was an asshole when I was a little kid. When I was a teenager, I was definitely like the elitist. I was the guy who is actually looking at the damage meters, and he's not going to say anything to you about how shitty your damage is, but you better not open your mouth, or he's going to start posting stats. You know, I remember there was a time, I don't remember this guy's name, but we had a mage app in our guild, and we were doing patchwork, and you know, this was old school World of Warcraft where, you know, theory crafting wasn't a big part of the community. Okay, like some people might not realize that, but like there was literally classes that had no such thing as rotation. All you did was spam one thing, and that was one of the classes that was called mage. Mage, you sat there and you'd scorch. I forget why we would scorch. There was like a rolling debuff with it.
Yeah.
No, Scorch was a passive, wasn't it? Yeah, I think all you did was
Oh, yeah, I
spam
think it was a
fireball.
passive.
I think that's the only thing you did. You would flame blast when you move. I don't think there was anything else we would do. And we had this mage in our guild, and on Patchwork, he sat there spamming Pyroblast. 6-second cast. It must have been 6 or 8 seconds. It was like a long cast time. Very inefficient damage. Just sitting there casting it nonstop. And then we wiped. We wiped on this encounter because we had a bunch of apps and I don't know, something went wrong. And then I remember he said something really snarky or something, and so I just like posted like the recount or whatever it was. It wasn't a recount; it was the old damage meter to chat of like what he had done, and it was just Pyroblast. And like we just ripped on him for it. It's like, how could you even think that's ever what you're supposed to do? I was that guy. Like I was the real I'm not gonna tell you you're being shitty until you being shitty gets in my way, and then I'm gonna lord it over you.
Yeah, so you were like...
I was the dick raider.
Always a dick. You were just sometimes a dick.
No,
but you were a dick for a reason.
Yeah, maybe, I guess.
Oh, wasn't it called SW stats? Is that
SW stats? I don't remember, man. I don't know. Those were the eras where how much you progressed in World of Warcraft was based on how many rogues you had with Thunder Fury. And like that's how the game worked. The best rating comp would legitimately be like, a couple healers, a couple tanks with Thunder Fury, and then nothing but rogues with Thunder Fury. As many as you get. Actually, I don't think rogues were very good with Thunder Fury. I think it was tanks. I remember our tanks used it all the way to like Illidan.
Yeah, I remember
the second expansion. Doing the second expansion with your legendary from Classic.
That's really cool though, the fact that like the legendary carried over, like Thunder Fury. It's
cool in some ways, but you can understand why it wouldn't be good for the health of the game.
Yeah. Yeah, I can understand that. Let's see. Man, I'm just like the show format so far has just thrown me off my like normal.
I'm sorry. It's
all right.
Isn't the goals if we just talk about old things?
Pretty much, yeah.
Are we nostalgic fishermen? That's our goal.
Yeah, it's just like, I remember when damn kids weren't around.
Like, well, so me and Crendor used to raid, and we raided in a 10-man casual guild.
Yeah.
That was at the point when I couldn't do raiding full-time anymore because, I no longer lived with my mother and could play video games 24/7.
Yeah.
I had left the home, I'd left the nest, and so I was actually trying to do work. But I also still love World of Warcraft, so I kind of wanted to balance it in. That's actually why every time I come back to this game, I almost never touch raiding. Like, I'll do the looking for raid stuff just because I want to enjoy it, see what the game's like, see some of the bosses and the lore. Because I've always liked the story parts. Yeah. I've always liked the roleplay parts of doing this stuff. But, I'm always, scared that I'll get sucked back into it, so I just don't even think about it. But we did 10-man raiding, and you were the guy who goddamn would drive me fucking nuts. Crendor would always show up late or not show up at all. You didn't know if he was gonna be there. He was our I think you were the off tank, maybe.
Yeah, I was the sometimes off tank.
Sometimes off tank.
Sometimes healer.
Boomkin. Sometimes healer.
Yeah, sometimes boomkin. I had all the rotations of what I was gonna do.
But we were pretty we tried to be like a hardcore casual guild where we tried to do all the hard stuff for 10-mans in the Ulduar and everything.
Mm-hmm. I think we got some of the achievements, like the hard mode achievement stuff.
We kind of got the guild was going well until I up and abandoned it. Yeah. At some point I was like, all right, now I actually got the rating ticking me. I was the itch, and I was like, oh god, I want to play the big boy leagues, and so I actually went back to my old guild and did the end of Lich King.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I moved after the Argent Crusade stuff. After we finished Argent Crusade, I moved to play Paladin and Drow.
So I think it was I remember we got up to the Lich King. It was around there somewhere.
Fenris was leading at the time, wasn't he?
Yeah, it was Fenris, and then I don't think we killed the Lich King. I ended up killing... I don't know when I killed the Lich King, but it wasn't...
He was a hard encounter.
Yeah, he was really difficult.
I moved to another guild but like I wanted to actually do the 25-man progression in Lich King, so I wasn't even playing with my main guild because they had already cleared everything except heroic Lich King. So it's just playing like with a secondary 25-man guild, so I could experience it. Like I really liked raiding. Like, that's the funny thing, and most like everyone who's played WoW and has done raiding for more than like 1 or 2 tiers will get this feeling of you stop caring about loot. It's really hard to care about loot. Maybe you're the type of player where it's always interesting, but at some point, especially if you raid a lot, you get to a point where you do not care about your progression as a character. You care about like your team's progression, your guilds, right? And so, like for me as a person, I liked doing raiding because I just liked the environment and the experience of 25 people all executing something to kill a boss. That was always satisfying, and it was always fun to progress on a boss. Like the first time you'd ever kill a boss with your guild. I don't think I'll ever have another game that gives me that experience in my life. I don't think I'll ever play another game like this because I don't know if I'd ever have the time. So
yeah, I think that's a lot of people too. I think a lot of people want that, but they like deep down know they can't.
Yeah, it's almost like we played this game as kids, you know, and no matter how much we really want to go back to that, you almost can't justify it. You're like, well, I mean, it's fun, but at the same time, it's fun, but it's also a lot of work.
Yeah.
And that sounds so weird to anyone who's never raided in World of Warcraft. It's like, why would you play a game that's work? And I've always said it's like a sports team. I think I had to have mentioned.
Yeah, I remember you mentioned this.
But it's always like a sport team. It's like playing like, you know, a small little team with your buddies.
Yeah. So. Where they like play in the park league. It's like go play softball, then go drinking afterward, like those types. But
what do you do with these fish? You just assume throw them away?
Oh, I just never even catch the fish. I just literally like keep casting. I don't think I've caught a fish.
It's not go fishing with Crendor then. What's the point?
I am technically fishing. I'm just not, you know, catching them.
I just assumed you'd catch them. You know, you could have like caught one of each fish and like put it in your vault, and then like this is the fish I caught with X. This is the fish I caught with so and so.
Yeah, but I like having the cinematic aspect of no UI on the screen.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah, that's the only reason why. Otherwise, I would be.
I think you should still catch one fish, like just near the end,
yeah,
and then you just save it. Even if it's just in a screenshot, you can be like, you know what, this raw long jaw mud snapper, Rob, this one's for you. This is your fish. Yeah.
All right. By the end of this, I will.
You'll catch. Dude, this is a monumental occasion in fishing with Crendor.
After 11 hours of fishing, finally caught one. God damn it. Yeah, I think every single person I've talked to with fishing has said that. With like I can't like. You can't go back in time, and like it's the nostalgia thing.
Yeah, it's in a lot of ways. You know, we all played this game when we were younger. That was.
Yeah.
I guess we all were younger when we used to play this game. Yeah.
Because I mean, yeah, I was were you a teenage? Like, how old were you?
Oh man, when I first started World of Warcraft, I would have been in my teenagers, and then I would have been a young adult. Like I would have been 20s and stuff.
Oh yeah, so you're probably like 18, around there. I was like 14, and I was a freshman in high school, so I literally spent all of high school was playing this game.
How old's World of Warcraft now? Is it over 10 years?
Yeah, it's over. It was 2004 it came out.
2004. So I'm 20.
Like the end of it, like November 2004.
29 now. Yeah, I would have been like 18 when this game came out, I think. Something around there. So, like
I had 10 years.
Yeah, and I had also played like other MMORPGs, much like World of Warcraft, you know, all before this.
Yeah.
Like I'd played a lot of them, specifically Dark Age, all before this. So I just had like this whole 10 years of playing MMOs, and in a lot of ways, man, I don't think I would ever want to play another game like this. It's kind of like this genre of game, just isn't gonna do it for me anymore, you know.
Yeah.
Like, it's almost like it's aged. I don't know.
I get what you're saying, because like I think I've played like all the other MMOs that have come out after this, and it's like they're all trying to be this game in some way or form, and it's like you're not going to be this game because people have emotions and like so much tied to this game that isn't just about gameplay.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. They're probably better to just move on from the MMO genre, honestly. So I mean, everybody, what they do is they go to a different MMO, they play it, and then they're like, well, I'll go back to WoW.
If they made a World of Warcraft 2, I would get back into it.
I probably would too.
if it's like 2030, how old am I now? 2030. I'm like, I'd be like 55, and Blizzard's just like, hey there, everyone. This is Chris Metzen speaking. He's old. Hey, everyone, it's me, Chris Metzen. Welcome to BlizzCon 2030. I want to announce World of Warcraft 2. then I would just, you know, sell all my positions, get a computer, huddle down, and be like, it's time to go back to being a kid.
Yep, I would do that too. I'm not gonna lie.
You know, it'd be crazy too, because with our internet fandoms, we could have the most absurds of guilds.
I know.
Like at the time, I was able to do that. Like I remember one of the first guilds I made was because I had all these people who watched my movies from Jimmy the World of Warcraft story. I wanted to make a roleplay guild that was all blood elf mages and priests, and all the characters were named like Sister something something. and we just maxed the guild. Like it was just, we could walk around with hundreds of them. They're all just walking around like level 5 and 10 blood elves. You know, we were kind of like upsetting the server in some ways. It wasn't trying to upset them, but it was just like they were being upset because all these people are running around, and they were all mages and priests. Like at that hard limit, you have to be female, you have to be mage or priest, and we were just all running around doing little RP things, playing together.
Yeah.
Yep. And then my character was called like the Mama something or Mother or something like that. Just we go around and talk and role play and do little things in the Blood Elf capital city. But no, imagine it now. You could easily pull 1,000 people. I could pull 1,000 people. All gonna play World of Warcraft 2.
Could probably crash a server. They'd have to have some intense servers.
Yeah.
But oh man, they could. Oh, it would have to be like insane. Like be like you can choose from like 20 races, like to play, or like just a bunch of classes, and. Like they could make the world like gigantic, like 3 times as big.
One of the big things that always attracted me to these games, and it's something that they've slowly lost over time, and honestly World of Warcraft is actually to blame, is the roleplay aspect. You know, one of the reasons why MMOs were so attractive is because you got this big old world that you can explore. It's wondrous. It's all everything. Yeah. But over time, it became more and more about the video game aspect, the number game. You know what I mean? When World of Warcraft first came out, it wasn't balanced. Of course it wasn't balanced. It was just a lot of cool abilities and cool things. And the game was actually not really about getting to max level and raiding. It was just about doing stuff. And you'd go to a zone and you'd be like, whoa, this zone is so cool. Like, a lot of the World of Warcraft, the base zones, were crazy cool.
Yeah.
They were all just really awesome, and they were huge. Like, just panning around, this place looks awesome. And I know it's been redone at the time, but in a lot of ways, it was still the same. Just these big mountains and all sorts of things. Like, that's how MMOs used to be. Like, you kind of forget that, but it was about, like, the journey of getting to max level. There really was not a lot to do at the end of the game, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, that's true, because everybody's like, well, what's the end game now? That's, like, the big question everyone always asks. They try to power level through everything.
Like if I was Blizzard, I would be really scared about developing another MMORPG, and I think they kind of knew that because they kind of switched Overwatch from being an MMORPG to just this new like team-based PvP game, right?
Yeah.
And I think that might have been a smart choice because it might be really, really hard to capture that magic with your player base all over again, like this wondrous giant world. Because when we start looking at the numbers and the abilities and how much damage everything does, and I'm a min-maxer player myself, like that's how I like to play. That's why I rated, right? But there's so many bosses, I don't even know what they look like. You know what I mean? Like I never looked at them. Why would I look at them? I'm staring at a bar to see how much his health goes down. Yeah. It's so often you could just forget to just like look around. But I don't know how you would ever build a game like this. I wouldn't want to do it. As much as I would love to be like the type of guy that's like, yeah, I got all these cool ideas to how to make a new World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
Like trying to play up the nostalgia, and it was a different game for everyone, right? Everybody had all these vast experiences. There's no way you're going to be able to, do it right by everyone. How do you build that?
Yeah, and it's like you had the people coming in who played the Warcraft games that were like ready to go into this big world, like, oh man, I played Warcraft, the RTS, now I'm gonna get to like explore it on my own. And then you had all the people that were just like coming over from other MMOs. Then you had people like me who were just like, I've never even played an MMO or heard of this before. I'm gonna play it. And it's like, it is really hard to recapture that. And I think even there's so much, the internet is so much like more prominent now because like they'll be like, the new patch is coming out, we've data mined every detail about it, and it's like, I remember just back then being like, I don't know what I'm doing, and you look it up and people are just like, I don't know what's happening, and you're just like, I'm gonna go explore it then. Like there was no data mining or anything.
No, there really wasn't. The internet was a different place. Information wasn't as fast. I remember when MMO Champion first started to take off, and that was the place you would get all your information for everything in World of Warcraft. And in some ways, it did kind of ruin the surprise. You knew what all the armor looked at. Everyone would be like, I don't like the new tier 3.2 whatever. Blizzard's art team sucks this time around. And it's just for some reason, Blizzard's art team always sucks at every tier of armor. Every tier of armor is just like, this armor's shooty yet again.
And then the new set will come out and be like, man, this old set's
set
way better.
Yeah.
And it's like, it ruins the immersion. Would it be immersion? It ruins like the whole like exploration aspect of it and finding out things on your own.
I would honestly, if they were to make a World of Warcraft 2, I would almost want it to not even be an MMORPG and be like a co-op game that I can play with like 10 people.
Well, I thought that too.
That could sound so weird. But maybe it's not World of Warcraft. Maybe it's Warcraft something. But just an adventure game where the pacing can be different for everyone. It could be all this explorative. Make it always online so they can have all their DLC and free-to-play stuff. Whatever, they have to monetize it. But maybe that's
like a Skyrim or a Witcher type game.
Oh man, wouldn't a Skyrim type game in the World of Warcraft universe be fun?
Yeah, I would love that. And it's like, then you wouldn't be bound to all the things players would abuse because there would only be you. And
it would only be you, yeah.
That would be really cool. I'd love that.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I also wanted Warcraft 4, but no, I thought they were going to do it because I was like, just wait, they're going to announce Warcraft 4 because like the new game engine they'll use will be like, now you can make your own like MOBA Dota 3 or something in it. I thought they were going to do it just for that that fact. They could be like, oh, we got new lore for WoW that will be coming in like WoW expansions. And they can like go further in that or like have some scenarios you could play that would fill in old lore. I don't know. I just thought it would make sense if they did it, but
I have faith in whatever they make, I'll probably like. Because for me, personally, every game they put out, I've loved. I like StarCraft 2. Even if you have problems with the multiplayer or that the custom maps didn't become what Warcraft 3 was, I love the campaigns. I'm gonna buy the next expansion pack because I've loved the single player in that. A Diablo 3 I cannot hate on. It had a bumpy start, but it is a completely different game today, and I can't wait for the next season of Diablo. Like they do seasons now, and they have their season probably 4, I think. When season 4 comes out, that's going to be the next season. Like I dump like a week of my life into, and I'm just like, all right, here we go, because I love that part of D2, and I'm going to do it again in D3. I've loved World of Warcraft. I love Hearthstone. Hearthstone is a I can play it on my phone, man.
I know.
Like, some of you might take this for granted, but like the fact that I can be sitting like anywhere and play a game of Hearthstone blows my mind.
I played Hearthstone on the plane and I was flying back from LA last month.
That's crazy awesome that you can do that. That's amazing.
It is insane. I was playing in the line at E3 and some dude was like, I played that Tavern Brawl, it's really fun. Just like, yeah.
That's crazy. Here's the Storm blows my mind too, because that was a game that I had no expectations on. I'm like, you're making a casual Dota? All right, whatever. Plus of how long like Blizzard Dota was like first it was a StarCraft 2 map, and then it was its own game called Blizzard All Stars Dota,
Yeah.
and right Dota All Stars, and then when it finally came, it's probably my favorite game right now. Like
Yeah.
I loved League of Legends, but to be perfectly honest, I have no like desire to go back to laning in League of Legends compared to, and it's 20 minutes. Like the games are 15, 20 minutes every time. And that's a big thing when
That is one of the
when you
biggest
don't
things.
have a lot of time, because I can sit down for an hour and play 3 games, whereas like something like League of Legends or Dota 2, I can maybe get one
Yeah.
in an hour. And if it's a game and I go in and it's a shitty game to begin with, it's just like, ugh. But I actually like losing in Heroes of the Storm, and that might just be me changing as a person and just, you know, as a whole. But like I actually like losing in this game. The games always feel so close, even if it is a stomp. Like it always
Yeah.
feels like you could turn it around. That's crazy. And Overwatch, everything I've seen just looks like an awesome TF2 that I'm gonna love. So whatever Blizzard makes in the future, man, I will. They have the benefit of the doubt for me that at the very least I'll try it, because they even games like Diablo 3 that have had rough starts, they've turned into good games. So
Yeah.
how can they do wrong right now? Like if that's the commitment they have for their games, I mean, you got to give them a little bit of faith at some point.
Yeah, I mean, at this BlizzCon, they'll probably announce the next WoW expansion. They'll announce the new Diablo expansion. They'll announce Overwatch. Well, Overwatch might be in beta by then, because they said it was going to be in beta in fall. I'm getting in the beta. I know people.
Well, Blizzard's getting so good at their content cycle. That was like, I think I missed that point when I was talking about it. They used to be so slow with content. And by slow, I mean like I did Black Temple for over a year when I used to raid in World of Warcraft. Same dungeon every week, do it in a night, and then we did it on alts, and then we did a buyer run, and then we did a gold DKP for a year, just running it, you know, anywhere from 2 to 4 times a week, you know. But like Hearthstone, it's been quicker. It's getting faster. Heroes of the Storm, they're getting to a point where, all right, we're seeing a hero every almost month now, even quicker than a month, and they're always announcing new stuff, and that was the biggest problem. Is Blizzard sometimes has problems with their content cycles. We're getting a movie. Did you see the 3D cinematic by Legendary Pictures?
Yeah.
It's one of those 3D YouTube movies. If you guys haven't
you can
seen
like look
those yet,
around.
you can look around, and it has Stormwind if it actually was a real place. It looks like a Game of Thrones meets World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
That's cool. And, you know, I don't have a lot of faith in a live action World of Warcraft movie, but I'll give them the benefit of the doubt.
If anything, it could become one of those like weird like cult classic type movies.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see. It's like Blizzard is just one of the best, if not the best, like gaming company.
Yep. We're just sucking the good old Blizzard dong today, Crendor. That's what we are.
Thanks, Blizzard. Give me
Thanks.
Overwatch.
Yep.
Well, it's been about an hour, so we can probably wrap it up. So why don't you tell everybody where they can find you and all that stuff?
I still do YouTube on WoWcrendor. Right now, I don't do Let's Plays anymore. I do a show called Unforgotten Realms Live, which is a tabletop roleplay. And we have like a custom puppets. So it's a very hard show for me to explain, but basically it's, you know, imagine a very custom Dungeons & Dragons game that's supposed to be building an entire universe and world, 90% funny, 10% serious. It's a ton of fun. It's a lot of laughs. If you're into like, if you even think you're kind of into like Dungeons & Dragons or general gaming humor, it might interest you. Give it even half an episode, and you'd probably know this is something I'd like. It's cool because we're making like our own custom version of like a tabletop roleplay game, much like Dungeons and Dragons, but we're just making it for free. So we just give out all the cards and all the little art assets and everything we make from week to week. Just the community. It's completely community driven and supported. So it's a lot of fun. It's a cool project. If you're into roleplay, you'd probably like this. If not, I mean, roleplay is so niche in itself that it's a skip over thing. But that's what I do these days.
Yeah, I'll put your links below. Is there a Twitch link too? Is it Bruce Willikers on?
You know what? I'll give you a link, and the link I'll give you is to animation that I had one of our artists do that involves me, a bunch of the guys I play with, an Eagle Raptor, and it's called the 25-year fire. And it basically, like, if you watch this and you're entertained by it, you might enjoy the show, because that's generally what the entire show is.
All right, I will put that link in the video.
Do you remember Unfriended Realms at all? Do you remember how Sir Schmoopy went into a tavern, kind of burned it down, tried to sleep with one of the barmaids?
Yeah.
What was funny is I had Eagle Raptor as a guest on the show, and he played a sorcerer, which was cute because he's never seen my cartoon. Okay, I just noticed the parallels after. He played a sorcerer. He went into a tavern. He tried to sleep with the barmaid. The barmaid wasn't having it. Then he burned it down. And then after the entire show, I looked back and I went, oh my God, it's just like that one cartoon I once made. He played exactly like the person from the cartoon. It just felt so, like, surreal in a way. So that's a good way. It's surreal comedy, surreal roleplay comedy. So
breaking the meta.
Breaking the meta.
All right. Well,
did you catch a fish? Did you catch a fish?
Oh, that's good. I'm gonna catch fish.
You're gonna catch fish.
Here it comes.
I'm gonna make it harder for you.
All right. I caught driftwood.
Really? You didn't even get a fish? No, that's it. No, that counts. That's it.
All right.
That's what you'll always remember me by.
Caught
some goddamn driftwood.
The Argent Squire is drowning.
That's fine. He's fine under there. Ignore him.
All right. Well, thank you for joining me today.
It's fine.
We're just gonna zoom in on him.
Fine.
See you later, everybody.
He's fine.
He's fine. See you.